People trying to stop an oil terminal expansion in Northwest Portland got a big win today. The city denied Zenith Energy's permit to build new pipes under Northwest Front Avenue. Environmental reporter Keely Chalmers joining us near the terminal tonight. Now, Keely, these North Portland neighbors, they've been fighting this for a while now.
Yeah, that's right. They worry that the oil trains that come here could be putting their safety at risk, and they don't want any more rolling through their communities. The Zenith Energy terminal sits along Front Avenue in Northwest Portland. When crude oil comes in on trains, it's moved to storage tanks there and then onto ships heading out of town. The concern, in order for those oil trains to get to the terminal, they first have to pass through North Portland. According to the Oregon Department of Transportation, more than 2,800 crude oil tank cars came through the rail yard next to Zenith last year.
And this has been very controversial. People have been urging the city to try to put a stop to Zenith from expanding this throughput of trains through our community.
In recent months, neighbors have held vigils along the tracks to protest the terminal and its plans to expand. The company wanted to add 3 new pipelines under Front Avenue. The pipelines would transport material from the terminal to the Willamette River. It maintained those pipes would not be used to transport any oil. But in a letter to Zenith, the city of Portland said it does not have the staffing to monitor what would actually be pumped through those pipelines. And it pointed out the company's already failed to pay fees for the lines it has now. How can it be trusted in the future? So the city denied Zenith's request, a move environmental groups applaud.
It doesn't stop what Zenith is doing right now in terms of running oil trains, and that continues to be a huge concern. But it does show that the city is willing to push back on Zenith and potentially stop Zenith from expanding dramatically even further.
In a statement, Mayor Ted Wheeler supported the decision, saying, "I am deeply dedicated to protecting our environment. Portland's commitment to be a climate leader nationally and globally requires a rapid transition away from fossil fuels to cleaner, renewable fuels." Zenith Energy responded by saying it is disappointed in the city's decision. The company went on to say that it paid those past due fees yesterday when it learned it had an outstanding balance. And in the brief statement that Zenith Energy sent to us, the company did not comment on any future plans. Back to you.